Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, January 25th, 2025, and it is cold here, doggone it. It is cold. But it won't last. That's one thing about the Midwest. It won't last. Okay, so, hey, quick, I want to remind everybody that they call it winter. Good morning, Doug. I want to remind everybody that we have public e-learning tonight, and I'll be hosting. I hope everybody can join us. So if you're not doing anything, mark that down in your calendar, your little date book. 8 p.m. Eastern in the free Hit and Run Candlesticks Right Way Options trading room there. Okay. Have you ever had those days when you wake up, you take a look at the futures, and you have your cup of coffee or your Coke or your juice or whatever you do, and you just think, oh, good Lord, today is just not worth it. And that's how I feel about today. I feel like today is not worth it. I don't feel like today is the day. We don't want to die on this hill. It's a battle every day. And I don't mean a battle in a bad way. I love my battles every day. I love my job. But there's some days where let's not battle today. Let's not do this. And I think today is one of those days. Here, we had this little band drawn here where I thought the market was going to come down to and maybe find a little bit of a bounce, and it did. Also, too, I think I reminded everybody, just because we had a good hammer yesterday, which it is a good hammer. If we take this real time off, you can see that it is top notch. I mean, it really is top notch. That does not mean that the very next day we rip and roar and snort and, be a bull. It does not mean that at all. In fact, more times than not, it won't mean that. And here's why. Whenever the market reaches a top, it just doesn't die. It just doesn't die. It has to bounce around, has to decide, has to think about it, and then it dies. The same thing true is on a bottom. After the market is down, and this goes true for a stock, any chart, after it goes down, it's got to think about it. What do we do? Do we just go up now, or do we go down more? And that's what's going to happen here. I know yesterday there was a lot of people here in the room that started making purchases to the long side. And is that really, I'm just trying to share. Prove it by going back and looking at charts, and spend hours going back and just looking through charts, and you will see that markets just don't do this right here. They just don't go up and down and up and down and up. They just don't do that. There's all this nonsense in here, at these highs and lows. Even in the middles, there's nonsense in here. So just keep that in mind. I really don't want to be here today. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no point to me. But with that said, let's take a look at some charts. But I also want to look at charts in a different way today. So let's start with the SPY here. Price is still underneath the T-line. The T-line is still underneath the Trendicator. And the Trendicator is nowhere near price to have any kind of bullish attitude. Nowhere near. The Trendicator is going to have to get closer to price, and price is going to have to get closer to the Trendicator. Could be down here, could be up here, could be in the middle. We can't predict what the next 2 or 3 candles are going to be like in the chart here. So keep that in mind. Now I want to go through these because I'm going to look at these twice, but I'm going to look at them through this chart, and then we're going to go through them again on another chart, and I want to show you something. Let's start with UVXY. Look, the market has not shown any signs of bullishness yet. One little bounce yesterday does not make for a bullish market. It can certainly get bullish, but I need it to prove it to me. So we might take a look at UVXY. If UVXY continues to hold, it's pretty simple. You can take the low of today for a stop, lows yesterday, the body in here if you want to trade that, and if it starts moving up. However, if it starts breaking down and you see this market is starting to lift up, again, I wouldn't take that as some bullish, crazy bullish sign, but we're here as swing traders. We're here to time the market. We're here to time it, remembering that we're not here to catch the tops and the bottoms. That means all we're going to do is take that sweet little chewy part out of the middle. That's what we're after. So if this does start to fail, I don't think we want to be in it because it could pull all the way back down into here. If the market remains unstable, I see where we can move up here to the 200 period moving average or thereabout. SPLK, if you're looking for a long chart, this is one for the watch list. Not necessarily be traded today, but one for the watch list. I need to check something here. There's something looking wrong to me. Yep, that's it. Put that back. There we go. I was playing with that this morning. We've got a little bottom. We've rallied up. We've settled in. A little morning star signal kind of moving in there. I already have this on the watch list. This was on the watch list from several days ago. I just went through my watch list and looked at some stocks, and I see that SPLK might be trying to put something together. QID. QID looks a lot like that UVXY, same sort of kind of chart. Here we've rallied up way too high. We need a little bit of consolidation. We need a little stabilization. But if you're determined to buy something, this could be bought. Around that 200 period moving average might be my stop area. Target up here, maybe way up here. And I'm just going to use those moving averages. So happens that comes to some pretty good price action over here. So that makes sense as a possible trade. Again, I want to say that some days just go back to bed. Do something. Build a shed on the back of your house. Go fishing. Mow your lawn. Shovel your driveway. Some days just are not worth trading. And I'm telling you, this is one of these days. Yesterday was absolutely one of those days. SDS. I'll quit my preaching here for a minute. SDS. That run up there, I can't bring myself to buy that. There's no way. Even if the market starts to move up, that is too high based on my rules. But it doesn't mean there's somebody out there trading it, okay? But if I had to trade it, if somebody made me trade it, if it started breaking down off of, what is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday's candles high, below 41.30, I'd want to be out of it. I would absolutely want to be out of it. If it starts moving up, I can see that as a possible trade. But is that really what we want to do today? I can't stress that enough. I really, really can't. TDOC, if you're short, stay short. Trendicator's still moving down. And remember, we're going to look at all these charts in a different way in just a minute. Trendicator is still trending down. T-line's below the Trendicator. The 3 is actually below the Trendicator. I use the high, so it's always going to be a little to the high side, but it's below. And you can see price here, a nice little inside day. That makes for maybe a nice little entry right through there on TDOC. Also remember to keep your eyes on earnings, okay? Hal, yesterday for the long side, Hal posted a printed a very nice candle. Super. In fact, there's several of these energy stocks that really are looking pretty good and produce some candles. So we'll keep an eye on that. See how this has rallied up. And to me, this is a beautiful chart. Look at that. Right here, everything started to line up. Price above the Trendicator, our 3 EMA above the T-line. Man, that right there, there's beauty, and then there's HAL, and this is beauty. This is true beauty. I'm not saying that I'm like I think it's going to go super high or anything. I'm just telling you, this is a beautiful chart. Just the way the bone structure is nice on this. And then yesterday, the great candle here yesterday, bouncing right off the 17 EMA or the Trendicator. And today we've got a nice little 3/8 trap pre-market here. So we'll keep a look at that. Let's see here, FSLY, excuse me. Excuse me. Fastly is still a short. Trendicator still trending down. T-line's below the Trendicator. The 3 is below the T-line. Price is below everything. We tried to bounce up a little bit. Yep, that's great. What that does is, in a bearish chart is that sets up a nice little 3/8 trap type short. By the way, yeah, somebody asked me yesterday, does the 3/8 trap work on shorts? Yes, absolutely. Just wonderful, in fact. Here's the last one, and then bear with me. We're going to look at these charts in a different way. Take a look at GLD. Some gold charts might be working out today as well. This is another one of these very beautiful charts. Here, let me just get rid of all this. We don't need none of this stuff. There we go. So let's take a look here. Look how this thing has popped up. You've got the Trendicator, the T-line, the 3 EMA. Everything's working. Remember yesterday we talked about, I think in the room we talked about it. That's your world. If your world is something, around the 200 period moving average, which I know this is around that area, but in a lot of charts, the T-line trendulator could be miles away from the 200 or even the 50 period moving average. If your world is the 50 period moving average or 200 period moving average, then that's where you're looking for charts. My world is the Trendicator, the T-line, and the 3. Those 3 moving averages right there. That's my world. So I want to see charts that's working in my world, whether it's bullish or bearish. That's my world. So see how the Trendicator's up, T-line's up, the 3's up, and look at prices. Beautiful little trap right in there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now bear with me. We're going to look at these charts in a different way. Let's go back up here to UVXY. Let's go to this chart, or is it this chart? Nope, it's this chart. Let's go to this chart right here. We don't need any of that. And something I want to talk about, and this is one of those things where to me, you've got to, you can't, I don't think there's success in being a bottom picker. I really don't. I think in the long run, bottom pickers have to go get a job application somewhere and take a job. Every now and then, I get it. You see a great stock that has no reason to be down at the bottom, but it's down there. You buy it. I get it. We do that sometimes, but I wouldn't make a steady diet. I wouldn't even put that. That's just one of those things I see, and I understand why people might want to do that. Just don't make a diet of it. Don't make it a steady part of your meal when you eat. Look for those charts that are trending. And here's what I'm looking at. So the yellow line represents the 3 EMA. The white line represents the T-line, and the red and green dots represent the Trendicator, or 17 EMA. You see why UVXY might be a trade? See how it's starting to change from red to green? You can see it over here. It didn't last very long, but nothing says this is going to last long either. Nothing at all. Look at SPLK. I mentioned this as a long chart. Look how that's starting to move. What if this went the other way? You don't want to stay with it. Because look what happens. Look what could happen. It's not guaranteed every time. But look what could happen. On the other side, look how you could play that as a short. And you don't have to be in it right here to be a short. Because you got to remember, price is going to slide up. Moving averages are going to stay where they are. They're going to stay a little more level-headed, I guess. Price slides up into your pocket, say a 3/8 trap. You enter that short and you ride that short till you don't ride that short anymore. Same with the long side. Look at QID here. Look at QID. For those that don't know, QID is going long, but really what you're doing is shorting the Qs. It's just a clever way to do it with the inverse ETFs. If somebody does not know about the inverse ETFs, I highly recommend you get on that old Google thing and learn about them. They can be a lifesaver, a terrific tool. Look at that QID. Look, see how that popped up? And if you missed that, can you see how right here might be, let's see if this works. Sometimes the colors, there we go. Right there. See how we pulled back? Price had to pull that back. That would have made a nice trap type trade, or maybe right in there. Nice trap type trade. Great money could have been made in there. SDS, another one. These are the same charts we just looked at. SDS could have been shorted here, and now it's time to go long. And by the way, you could have gone long here. I'm not trying to ignore this. And the experienced traders know that just because you buy a chart doesn't mean it's going to work out for you. It does not know that. And experienced traders know that. So these things happen. So you went long. Maybe you got out and made a penny. Maybe you, got out here and made a penny. Maybe you got out down here and you lost a penny. But the key is you didn't lose very much if you stuck to your rules. Maybe you tried it again. But then let's think about that. Let's try this again here. Why would you trade this again? So what we need to see here is, and even over here, what you need to see is that low to a high. Let's see if I can change that color. That's a better color. Low to a higher low, and a higher high. You see how it might look like this right here now? So this right here, low to a high, to a higher high, that's not the buy. The buy is here. And this is where we make money, right there. One reason I'm trying to show this, I guess I need to go look at this. Here's the market. Why in heaven's name do we want to be jumping in this market to the long side? This is a SPY. Here's the diamonds. Here's the Qs. Why in the world? Why do we want to get out there and do that? Like I said, go outside and build a shed. Put a new fence up. Go mow your lawn. Shovel your snow. Things like that. TDC. Nice downtrend. And what the market is doing, it's still in a downtrend. Okay? Look at how. That's pretty. Look at how. Man, low to a high to a higher low. Whoops, there we went up. What a great place to maybe be buying Hal right in there. Hal might have given another chance right in there. I don't get the privilege of seeing price. We don't want to see price right now. Might have given another chance to buy it here. It might be giving us another chance to buy it here. But no matter how good it looks right now, the 10,000 pound gorilla we have right now will squish almost anything, and that's the market. No matter how good Hal looks, if the market wants to go down, it will drag the Hals to the downside a little bit. Or at least, push it down so it's just a sitting on the edge of your chair type trading. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits there. We're coming up on almost 20 minutes for this video. We don't need that. So you guys take care. We'll see you in about 20 minutes over there in the trading room. Remember, there is e-learning tonight. Every Tuesday night there's e-learning. Some Tuesday nights it's members, and sometimes it's public. And tonight happens to be public. We'll see everybody in about 20, okay? Take care. And good morning.